The Abrahamic Family of Faiths, Beyond Judaism, Christianity, and Islam by AZLAN ADNAN, M.A. Wednesday, 5th November 2025. The term Abrahamic religions refers to faiths that trace their spiritual ancestry to the patriarch Abraham. While most people are familiar with Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, there are several lesser-known Abrahamic faiths that also claim descent from the same divine tradition. These include Samaritanism, MANDAEISM, Yazidism, the Druze faith, the Baha'i faith, and the Rastafari movement. All share belief in one creator, the moral accountability of humankind, and divine revelation. Together, they form a continuous spiritual lineage that spans nearly 4,000 years of human history. Judaism, circa 2000 BCE. Judaism is the oldest of the Abrahamic religions. It began with the covenant between God and Abraham and was renewed through Moses with the giving of the Torah. Jews believe in one God who demands righteousness, justice, and compassion. Their sacred scriptures, the Torah, the prophets, and the writings, form the Hebrew Bible. Judaism established the ethical and theological foundations on which all later Abrahamic faiths would build.
Samaritanism, circa 900 BCE.
Samaritanism emerged after the division of the ancient kingdom of Israel into the northern and southern realms. The Samaritans regard themselves as the true descendants of the Israelites who never left their homeland. They revere Mount Gerizim rather than Jerusalem as their holiest site and follow their own version of the Pentateuch. Though their numbers have dwindled to only a few hundred, the Samaritans continue to preserve ancient Israelite religious practices unchanged for millennia. MANDAEISM. Early centuries CE. MANDAEISM arose in Mesopotamia during the first centuries of the Common Era. It venerates John the Baptist as its chief prophet and practices baptism as a central rite of spiritual purification. Mandaeans believe in a single God of light, opposed by forces of darkness. Their scriptures, written in a dialect of Aramaic, reveal a rich cosmology combining monotheism, mysticism, and ethical purity. Mandaeism represents one of the oldest living monotheistic traditions still practiced today. Christianity, 1st century CE. Christianity developed within Judaism in the 1st century CE, centered on the life and teachings of Jesus of Nazareth. Christians believe that Jesus is the Messiah and the Son of God who came to redeem humanity. The Christian Bible combines the Hebrew scriptures with the New Testament, which records Jesus' ministry, crucifixion, and resurrection. Christianity universalized the Abrahamic message of salvation, love, and forgiveness, spreading it across the world.
Yazidism, 2nd to 7th century CE, formalized by 12th century.
Yazidism emerged from the spiritual environment of ancient Mesopotamia, blending elements of Judaism, Christianity, Islam, and older regional beliefs. Yazidis believe in one supreme creator who entrusts the world's care to 7 holy beings, the most important being Melek Taus, the peacock angel. Often misunderstood by outsiders, Yazidis regard Melek Taus not as a fallen angel, but as a symbol of divine light, repentance, and mercy. Their holiest site is Lalish in northern Iraq, where pilgrims gather annually. Yazidism preserves some of the earliest layers of Abrahamic monotheism infused with mysticism and reverence for creation. Islam, 7th century CE. Islam arose in the 7th century in Arabia through the revelations received by the Prophet Muhammad. Muslims believe that Islam is the final and complete expression of the monotheistic faith revealed to Abraham, Moses, and Jesus. The Quran, Islam's holy book, affirms the oneness of God and outlines a moral path through the 5 pillars: faith, prayer, charity, fasting, and pilgrimage. Islam regards Jews and Christians as people of the book, acknowledging their shared prophetic lineage and common values. The Druze faith, 11th century CE. The Druze religion originated in the 11th century within the context of Ismaili Shia Islam, but evolved into a distinct and independent faith. The Druze honor God as an unknowable and transcendent unity beyond human comprehension. Their beliefs integrate monotheism, philosophy, and reincarnation. The Druze community keeps its scriptures, the epistles of wisdom, secret, accessible only to the initiated. They revere figures such as Jethro, the father-in-law of Moses, and uphold principles of truth, loyalty, and moral purity. The Baha'i faith, 19th century CE. The Baha'i faith was founded in 19th century Persia by Baha'u'llah, who taught that all major religions originate from the same divine source. Baha'is believe that Abraham, Moses, Zoroaster, Buddha, Jesus, Muhammad, and Baha'u'llah are successive manifestations of God, each revealing a message suited to the needs of the time. The Baha'i teachings emphasize unity of God, of religion, and of humanity. They call for world peace, gender equality, universal education, and the harmony of science and faith. The Baha'i faith stands as a modern continuation of the Abrahamic vision of divine guidance for a global age. The Rastafari movement, 20th century CE. The Rastafari movement emerged in Jamaica during the 1930s, inspired by the coronation of Emperor Haile Selassie I of Ethiopia. Rastafarians see themselves as descendants of the lost tribes of Israel and interpret the Bible through an African perspective. They view Haile Selassie as a messianic figure and emphasize spiritual liberation, justice, and the return to Africa. Rastafari carries forward the Abrahamic ideals of faith, freedom, and righteousness, expressed through music, natural living, and deep reverence for God, whom they called Jah. One divine lineage. From Abraham's covenant to the Rastafari vision of spiritual liberation, the Abrahamic religions form a single unfolding story of faith. Each expresses a different stage in humanity's understanding of the one God and the moral path that leads to peace. Though divided by time, language, and doctrine, these traditions remain united by a shared reverence for divine truth. The many lamps differ, but the flame that lights them is one and eternal.
International Day of Persons with Disabilities, Wednesday, 3rd of December 2025. Every year, 3rd of December is officially recognized by the United Nations as the International Day of Persons with Disabilities. It has been observed globally since its proclamation in 1992 under UN General Assembly Resolution 4730. The day promotes understanding of disability issues, supports the dignity, rights, and well-being of persons with disabilities, and raises awareness of the importance of inclusion in all spheres of life: political, social, economic, and cultural.
forget to hit that subscribe button to show your support.